We are looking at dry conditions for the morning commute right now. This is a live look as you come in from the downtown neighborhood headed southbound towards the 8 freeway. In fact, you could see just San Diego showing off this morning, a gorgeous view of downtown speeds coming across towards the city of Coronado in from Barrio Logan. And same deal out of the East County as well as in from the North County. Travel times are looking really nice as well, about 10 to 15 to head northbound on the 5 and the 805. Average speeds for you, about 70 miles per hour. Back to you. Yeah, the drive, not so gorgeous as the conditions out there. We have a SIG alert that we're following. This is near the City Heights area on the 94, and it's involving a couple of into Golden Hill and South Park. If anything changes, we will let you know, and we will continue to keep you updated with that SIG alert throughout the morning. Netta? We're not looking at any slowing either, about 76 miles per hour headed inbound from Lemon Grove as you shoot your way west. Here's what your travel times look like. So this is that drive that would be impacted, and right now we're looking at a 7-minute travel time to get you to downtown. So nothing major as of yet. In fact, we have Chopper 8 who is heading to the scene, and as I kind of rewind here and see if their picture is up, it is not, but hopefully in the next 10-15 minutes or so after the break, we can give you a live look from that activity there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what else is happening in terms of travel times. We're still on the green for so many of those popular drives, about 10 to 15. Coming in from San Ysidro as well as a 54. And I also just got word that the chopper is overhead of that scene there. These updates will be coming up next. This is not the crash on the 94, but this is a house fire that Chopper 8 is up. And this is obviously breaking news. I don't have any details, but we'll continue to bring you that information later on in the newscast. Netta.
Vanessa, thank you very much. Yeah, it looks like
South Park and Golden Hill. Look out for a stalled car. So the 94 likely plugged up because of this disabled vehicle blocking one of the lanes, the right lane, also known as a slow lane, right at 32nd Street. Travel times are in the green. This is what we love to see, about 4 to 8 minutes right now. Coming in from the College and Lemon Grove area, 7 minutes meanwhile shooting in from Santee headed towards Tierra Santa. Back to you guys. North Park neighborhood. Meanwhile, this is closer to the North County. This is the 5 in both directions. Right side of your screen is that drive exiting Del Mar, headed towards Sorrento Valley, and this is leaving Del Mar, headed northbound towards Solana Beach. All right, we have a major slowdown on the 94. Heads up, in case you're headed to downtown San Diego and you take the 805, you may want to opt for the 54. Get onto the 5 North if you're trying to get to the metro area, because we are tracking a pretty big slowdown, and it's all due to a stalled car that's blocking the slow lane, the far right lane, right at 32nd Street. We're also tracking a pretty big slowdown coming in from the North County, Rainbow, Fallbrook, Bonsall, Temecula. If you take the 15 south, you're going to encounter this slowing right at Gopher Canyon Road following a crash, and everyone involved is reportedly in the center divide. And again, that's on the 15 southbound. Right now it's causing about over 6 miles of slowing, and speeds are down to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Travel times right now, we're starting to see that slowdown continuing to, I should say, coming in from Lemon Grove to downtown, all due to that SIG alert that we had at the eastbound end, and then now that stalled car right at 32nd. Meanwhile, the drives coming in from the College neighborhood as well as Santee in pretty good shape, and we're at steady speeds at last check.
Project
94 right at 32nd. So it is causing a good amount of slowing coming in from the 805 connector, but it's a very small stretch of slowing, and then it's smooth sailing as you eventually get into downtown San Diego. All right, we are still following this accident in the center divide in the Bonsall neighborhood on the 15 South right at Gopher Canyon Road. If you're traveling in from Bonsall, Rainbow, Fallbrook, anywhere north of Riverside, you're likely going to encounter this slowing. We're looking about 5 to 6 miles of brake tapping, and average speeds about 15 to 20 miles per hour or so. Travel times are in pretty good shape for the most part. Again, they could be worse. Yellow isn't too bad. Average speeds about 45 to 70 or so coming in from the East County headed west this morning. Eric?
Whoa. Can you please clarify what we're talking about here?
Yeah, I was like, I know I'm getting a little bigger and everything, but you know, give me a break here. 702 is it towards the 15 connector, and also headed out of Escondido as you make your way westbound towards San Marcos. We are tracking what looks to be some sort of object that cars are swerving to avoid in the center lanes in La Mesa on the 8 East right at Fletcher Parkway. And then looks like we are still tracking this crash that's causing quite the crawl coming in from Bonsall, Fallbrook, and Rainbow on the 15 South. So before, the congestion started after the 76, and now you can see that we're tapping the brakes even just north of that. Right now, the speeds are down to about 18 miles per hour. I would say opt for the 76. I mean, you could easily opt for the 76. I don't know if that would save you time, though. As we take a look at the travel coming in from the East County headed west, about 5 to 10 minutes or so on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. Back to you guys. South right at the 8 connector. And then we still got this guy that's causing a headache for drivers as well. This is on the 15 South right at Gopher Canyon, and it's plugging things up in a pretty big way as you make your way southbound coming in from Bonsall, the Rainbow, Fallbrook, and even Temecula area. So just bank on that slowing, leave time for travel. Speeds right now down to about 15 miles per hour. The slowing does improve once you get past that crash, but again, right now it's stretching about 6 miles or so that we're tapping the brakes. All right, let's go ahead and give you a live look outside. This is the 52. That's the westbound drive as you exit Santee, the 805. This is as you make your way northbound coming in from Division, heading in from National City. And then this is the 5 in both directions right at Villa de la Valle. This is that drive headed southbound, exiting Del Mar as you make your way towards Sorrento Valley, passing the fairgrounds. All right, let's go ahead and pull up some of those travel times and speeds, about 3 to 13 minutes if you're traveling in from the East County headed westbound this morning. Right now we are pretty slow and go coming in from National City, shooting up to the 8. It'll take you about 20 minutes overall, speeds about 30 miles per hour. And then last but not least, here's what it looks like. Steady speeds coming in from the North County headed south. Netta? Some sort of traffic hazard that cars are swerving to dodge in Old Town on the 5 South as you get towards that 8 eastbound connector. We're also tracking a motorcycle fire in the center divide on the 15 South right at Miramar Way. And then this one is causing a headache coming in from Bonsall, Rainbow, Fallbrook, even the Temecula area. A crash slowing, stretching over 12 miles. We'll be back after this. In the East County or near the East County out in La Mesa, where we are tracking a crash right at Fletcher Parkway. So this is causing some slow and go traffic from the 125 as you make your way westbound, heading past La Mesa towards the college area. We're also continuing to track this activity, a motorcycle fire in the center divide on the 15 South right at Miramar Way. And then unfortunately, we still have this crash that we're dealing with. A tow truck has arrived on scene, so hopefully this accident should clear soon. This is going to be on the 15 South right at Gopher Canyon. So if you're tuning in and you live in Bonsall, Fallbrook, Rainbow, even Temecula, I would leave time for travel because you could actually see that the slowing right now starts right at the Riverside County line. And it is, again, just stop and go till you get to that accident, and then the speeds start to increase. So this is likely going to cause a big delay for drivers and even a headache. So make sure that you're planning ahead. Travel times right now coming in from the East County, everything's good once you get towards the 78. It's north of the 78 on the 15 that we're worried about. 15 to 20 minutes right now if you're traveling in from Oceanside and Escondido, full span of the 78, headed westbound, about a 20-minute ride. And we are all in the red right now for those westbound drives in from the East County. About 15 minutes in from Lemon Grove as well as Santee, headed towards the 15, and then this one towards downtown, and then about a 7-minute ride from the college area towards Mission Valley. If you're traveling in from Chula Vista, headed northbound, about 25 to 30 minutes in from San Isidro as well as the National City area, and about 5 full span of the Coronado Bridge headed in from Barrio Logan to the city of Coronado. Back to you guys. I'm slowing on the 8 right at Fletcher Parkway. This is actually just west of that area at Lake Murray. That's that westbound drive as you make your way towards the college neighborhood. We have a crash blocking the right shoulder right at Fletcher Parkway, and it's causing some slowing all the way back to Jackson Drive. And then we're still tracking this crash. This is causing a major headache for drivers headed in from Temecula, Fallbrook, even Rainbow on the 15. You're tapping the brakes for 12 miles, stop and go from the Riverside San Diego County line all the way down to Gopher Canyon. All right, we'll be back after these messages. Drivers on the 8 West, it looks like we were tracking a crash on the right shoulder on the 8 as you make your way passing Fletcher Parkway. It's causing some backup all the way to about Jackson Drive. And this one is pretty much our biggest slowdown of the morning, or unusual slowdown, I should say. 15 south, right at Gopher Canyon, all the way from the Riverside San Diego County line, headed south. And of course, there aren't a lot of alternate routes that you could take to get around that slowing, so you're just going to have to leave time for travel. All right, here's a quick look at the 8 in both directions. This is that westbound drive as you exit Lake Murray and head towards the college area. And then this is the 805 right at Division. We got a little cobweb there. Someone needs to clean that camera off. And here's what the 5 in both directions at Via de la Valle looks like when you're exiting Del Mar, headed southbound towards Sorrento Valley. Back to you. On the right shoulder, right on the 8 eastbound before you hit 2nd Street. That is on the eastbound end, so the opposite way where most folks are going. This one is from Jackson Drive, and then this is what it looks like as you make your way southbound coming in from Bonsall and Rainbow. We're still dealing with a lot of slowdown starting at the San Diego Riverside County line due to an earlier crash that occurred right at Gopher Canyon. So make sure that you're leaving time for travel, especially if you got to get somewhere on time like the airport. All right, 8 in both directions. Here's a live look right at Lake Murray. Meanwhile, this is what it looks like coming inbound from Chula Vista headed north towards North Park. And then here's the drive on the 5 at Via de la Valle inbound from Del Mar. Here's a quick look at your travel times coming in from the North County. About 20 minutes for all those drives out of Oceanside, Escondido, as well as the 78 full span. Netta? Right at College Boulevard. And then we have another crash. This one has been also causing a big backup all the way down to about Jackson Drive, stop and go out of La Mesa on the 8 West. And this is right before you get to Fletcher Parkway. And then of course, we still have this one that we're tracking, stop and go from the Riverside County line as you make your way southbound towards Gopher Canyon due to an earlier crash. CBS8.com is where you can find more traffic and weather updates. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. As you make your way out of the Escondido area. And then this is just in between those 2 shots there. This is the 5 in both directions at Via de la Valle. Look out for a crash on the right shoulder in Oceanside on the 78 West right at College, causing some backup all the way to Emerald Drive. We're still tracking this one as well on the right shoulder in El Cajon on the 8 eastbound right before you hit 2nd Street. So most people are traveling westbound this morning, but we know there's looky-loos who like to see what's happening and tap the brakes, so it may cause a little bit of slowing as you make your way westbound. All right, travel times headed in from the North County. If you're going south this morning, 20 minutes in from Oceanside and Escondido. Average speeds about 40 miles per hour, both on the 5 and the 15 from the 78. And then as we take a look at those drives out of the East County, about 12 to 15 minutes. If you're traveling in from Lemon Grove and Santee, and then under a 10-minute ride, pretty slow and go from the College area to Mission Valley on the 8 West. Here's what it looks like coming in from the Chula Vista National City area. We're at a crawl in from the 54 up to the 8 as you make your way through National City into downtown San Diego. Full span of the bridge, not too bad whatsoever. 35-mile-per-hour speeds. Full span, about 5 minutes to get to the old toll booths in from Barrio Logan. Back to you guys.
Still ahead of your